Hi there, welcome to Kneppy Invest. Starting this recording this video a little bit later than usual, not because the market had a really bad day, I'm just recovering, but because I was recording another video and I'll release that video tomorrow morning. That is my plan at this point. And that video will be 5 stocks to watch of companies I don't own that will be releasing the March quarter results. 5 companies that I'm really intrigued about to see how they performed in the March quarter, and maybe you won't be shocked by what company comes in number one. In fact, the company that came in number one in my previous video, Megaport, I've now sold out of. So, in fact, Megaport probably belongs in this video I just recorded, but I had no idea I was going to sell out Megaport, even though I was hinting at it. So, a bad day on the Australian markets. I was going to say American markets, but they had a pretty bad day as well. Not as bad as us. Why did we have a worse day? And in fact, tech had a horrible day. The all-tech XTX down 2.8%. Now, the most intriguing thing is, did any sector have a good day today? Oh, yes. So utilities up 0.16%, energy up 0.06%. You probably could say that utilities is defensive. Well, you can't say that. It is defensive. Energy, just oil. I'm surprised staples down 0.66%. Even the mining didn't help us today, down 0.87%. But wowzers, discretionary down 2.1%. Real estate down 3.2%. IT down almost 4% today. IT had an absolute fit. However, if that negative 3.94% does give you a little bit of angst and fear and confusion, just have a look at the month. Actually, not the month. Let's have a look at the last 52 weeks. IT up 39.48%, even since the start of 2024, IT up 18.6%. So yeah, IT is having a rough month. I didn't realize it was down 3.7%, and a rough day and a rough week, down almost 5% during the past week. And it does look like every single indice was in the red. Let's just confirm that. Maybe one was not in the red, something to do with utilities. Yeah, utility sector, which is fairly similar to, well, the sector. It's got the sector there. So I would say most investors' portfolios were down pretty big today, particularly those who are focused on tech. Gold also down a little bit, which surprised me because gold is not down at all. I had a look at gold earlier. Gold was actually up. So I'm not sure why the market was nervous about gold. Gold still looks really, really good. In fact, Bitcoin up, uranium up, copper up. Copper's looking pretty good. Nickel up, silver up, oil a little bit down, but everything else down. Lithium down a fair bit. Nickel down a little bit. Palladium up. And what's SN1? That's that tin. That's tin's up as well. Anyway, so an ugly day on the markets. And this is going to be interesting when we have a look at the best performers and the worst performers. I don't think we're going to find much in the best performing companies. However, there is one company I think might be there. So let's have a look at the announcements. And there is one company I bought in today. In fact, I bought on open. Let's see if that was a good decision. And we'll get to that announcement fairly early on. Okay, so let's go back to the start of the day. I'll zoom in here. So a company called Cooper Energy did release a market update. So I got initially excited when I saw a market update. I always get excited when I see the word update, particularly if it's market trading update. But in this case, it didn't excite me, this announcement. And it didn't excite the market. Share price flat. Boss Energy, saying about first drum of uranium. Did the market like that? Doesn't really care. Or Coda, new SaaS contracts with community transport providers. I don't really care about these announcements, and the market didn't care. Now we get to the announcement that sort of lifted my ear, maybe not my ears, that piqued my interest. That I went, oh, wow, this is a really intriguing announcement. Ramelius Resources, record quarterly gold production for Ramelius. So we really have to, I'm going to have a look at the share price. It is up, but it was above $2 for a period today, and there was a little bit of sell-off during the day. And so I did buy it open at $1.94. So down a little bit, but I think there might have been a little bit of a reaction from the market and a little bit of sell-off during the last half of the day. So if gold remains at these levels, I think we will see buying in Ramelius Resources. And the reason I say that is this was a little bit of surprise to the market. And I'm saying that with a bit of confidence. And why was this a surprise to the market? Okay, because it beat guidance. So whenever I see something beat guidance, it should be a surprise to the market, unless the market is really savvy and really smart. And there's a possibility that there are people out there who are really smart. So record gold production of 87,000 tons. Guidance was for gold to be between 70,000 and 77,500 tons, or not tons, ounces. So this was a massive beat based off their guidance. And this was a record quarter for Ramelius as well. Previous record group gold production, 86,560 ounces in June 2020. Cash and gold at 407 million. Free cash flow, 125 million in a one quarter. Previous record cash flow was 69.4 million in the June quarter. So this was a significant quarter for Ramelius. And another really important facet about this announcement, quarter three, all-in sustaining costs to be materially lower than guidance due to record gold production. So this company should be gushing in cash. And it wasn't, material lower probably is a good way to say it, because previous guidance was ASIC to be between $1,700 and $1,800 dollars an ounce, and now they're saying it's going to be between about $1,400 and $1,500 an ounce. So that is a significant decrease in all-in sustaining costs. So an absolutely brilliant quarter for Ramelius. Share price didn't react as much as I thought it would, but it did react, up 5.25% when the overall gold sector was down. But if gold can actually increase tonight or tomorrow, we might see a movement in Ramelius Resources share price over the next few days. The other thing I have to look at is the chart. I'm a shareholder now, so I'm going to look at this chart a little bit more and more. And we can actually see the one-day candlestick actually does look a little bit bearish. Share price did get to a high of $2.04, which is probably understandable. And there's no resistance. So if you go back in time, go to the weekly chart. Last time the share price of Ramelius was this high was way back in the April month of 2021. In fact, if we go back to the June quarter 2020, when this company had a record quarter, the share price was higher, $2.50. But this was a record quarter for the company. Gold prices are significantly higher than June 2020. So there's no reason why the share price can't get above $2.50, particularly if sentiment continues to shift positively for this company. Not only that, the weekly chart looks pretty good for Ramelius. The daily chart looks pretty good. I'd like to see not much more selling the next few days. I'd like to see the share price continue to go up. And I'd like to see $2 broken for Ramelius. And the market cap, not that high, $2.12 billion, particularly if this company is generating $125 million of free cash flow per quarter, which equates to $500 million of free cash flow per year. Now, you might say I'm doing a bad thing by projecting this cash flow or free cash flow into on an annually basis. I think that is, I don't like doing that, but I'm just saying if they can have this sort of quarter, the next 3 quarters, that's $500 million of free cash flow for a company with a market cap of $2 billion. That's mean this company is currently trading at 4 times free cash flow, and that is cheap, my brothers and sisters. Anyway, so that is the stock of the day. Ramelius Resources is the stock of the day. I should have mentioned that earlier. Without doubt, it is the stock of the day. Without doubt. Have I said that? Without doubt. Okay, let's have a look for some other interesting announcements. Develop Gold, Woodlawn Production Restart Study, NPV increases by 37%. I would be shocked if that wasn't positive. Again. So Develop Global share price actually ran to $2.60, and then we saw selling come through the day. So just like Ramelius, there was selling. So those who bought early, particularly earlier in the day, saw the share price hammered. So let's have a look at the 1 hourly chart. In fact, let's have a look at the 5-minute chart. You can be able to see the selling in the first hour more than likely. The share price ran up in that first hour. In fact, the high of the day was at around about 9:50 a.m. Share price got to $2.59, and then the selling. Share price fell. Now, this is a little bit more understandable than Ramelius because the share price has been higher in the past, and the share price is still in the downtrend. So this looks like it was a good announcement, but the reason I wasn't really focused on Develop Global is because I knew the share price was in a downtrend, unlike Ramelius, where the share price of that company is now at about 3-year high. So even though this was a good announcement, it did not trigger anything with me because of the chart. Brookside Energy. So I am a shareholder of this company, and I'm thinking, should I sell? FMD FMDP drilling update. I'm not going to open this announcement, but the chart is interesting. Did the share price go up? Share price is up to 1.5 cents. I'm now pretty good in profit with this company. It's an oil company with operations. I've done videos on this company in the past. They have operations in the oil fields of Oklahoma. For those who are new to this channel, I lived in Oklahoma for quite a few years, one of my favorite states, just because I lived there for a while. Although it doesn't beat Colorado. Colorado is one of my favorite places in the world, just because I'm a mountain man. Anyway, over the past month or so, we've seen the share price go up. But the most important thing is, so you see this chart looks pretty ugly. And I don't mean ugly in the fact the share price is in a downtrend. Share price really going sideways. Ugly because the shares on issue for this company is something like 5 billion. I think it's down to 4.5 billion now because they have been doing a buyback, and shares float 3.47 billion. Sorry, it was 4 billion. Did some share buybacks, now to 3.47 billion. So there's a lot of pip traders who just trade to get a 0.1% gain. That's all they're doing. But the way a company can get around that is if you increase interest somehow. And we have seen increase in volume the last 2 weeks. Now, you might say not a lot of volume there, but we're talking about 40 to 60 million shares traded over the past about 4 days. We can confirm that just by going to CommSec. So today there were 53 million shares traded in Brookside. Share price up 1.5 cents. It's good to see that 1.5 cents has been taken out. If you look at the trade history, 49 million shares traded the previous day, then 20 the previous day to that, 34 million. But before that, we have seen shares as low, the amount of shares traded as low as below 1 million. So back on the 18th and 15th of March, below 1 million. So we haven't really seen a high amount of shares traded for a long time. So I'm going back in history here. So we did see 37 million in the 15th of January, but not 69 million on the 13th of December, but it was a one-off. But we haven't seen an extended, extended time period where we have seen a high amount of shares traded. So there is an increase in interest in Brookside right now. Maybe it's because the market is expecting some good March quarter results from the company. Maybe there's some loose lips out there. I don't know, but it's just good to see the share price is going on a bit of a run. So that's Brookside. Westgold Resources, Q3 financial year 24 production. I did actually have a look at that, and I didn't come away with anything too positive. Didn't look horrible, but Westgold adds 9 million of free cash flow. So just compare that to Ramelius. Ramelius, $125 million of free cash flow. Westgold, 9 million. And if we have a look at the share price reaction, down 14.8%. So completely different reaction from Ramelius. And I would say the market cap of Westgold is 1.3 billion. So Westgold's market cap is not that much below Ramelius. It's 700 million below. But just compare the free cash flow between both companies. So you can see why there was a different reaction. Now, if gold had a really good day and the market had a really good day, Westgold Resources share price might only have been down 5 to 7%, and Ramelius share price might have been up 10 to 15%. I think that could have been definitely a realistic reaction from the market, but because of overall negative sentiment in the market today, Westgold Resources share price down 14.8. So let's have a look at the chart for Westgold. I don't know much about this company, to be honest with you, but let's have a look at the chart. Oh, the chart looks pretty good. The chart before this day looked really good, and I think the market has been hit by a surprise here because the market, particularly the last 3 days, has been running hard. And I think this surprised the market. Another reason why the share price down 14.8% is because this was a negative surprise. The downtrend the uptrend has not been broken. And I'd probably want to wait just to see how the market reacts the next few days. But at this point in time, when you compare Ramelius Resources to Westgold, just the March quarter result, that's it, nothing else. Definitely Ramelius substantially outperformed Westgold Resources for the quarter. Anything else? I can't remember anything else, to be honest with you, that I can remember. Again, ETF stupid announcements. Final distribution. Who cares about final distribution announcement? ban ETFs. That's what I say. Look at them all. And again, they just double them up on ComSec. Oh, Acrux did have one. Launch of Dapstone 5% gel in the United States. Acrux, we're going back maybe to 2013-14. Acrux was bringing in a fair bit of cash by selling this product. It wasn't steroids, but I just remember it had something to do with men putting on weight, muscles or something. That's my memory. And then it was outlawed. I forget the whole story. But then they went from a period of generating a lot of cash flow to nothing at all because they had no other products. So maybe Acrux have started to be bringing in cash again. So launch of Dapstone 5% gel in the United States. I don't know anything else about this relationship with their partner True Pharma. So announced the launch of this generic Dapstone 5% gel in the United States. Gel is prescription medicine used on your skin to treat acne vulgaris. And they mention here that gel products for the 12 months ending October 23 exceeded 15 million as measured by IQVIA. That's the gel products. So annual market sales for Dapstone 5%, 15 million. So this is a generic product. So they're not saying that they would have received 15 million, but there is a little bit of market for this particular product. I have a feeling the market might have viewed this announcement with glee, with happiness. Let's have a look. So up 36.17%. And I'm just seeing like the chart during the day. There was a sell-off. Share price was high as 9 cents and the share price closed at 6.4 cents. So fairly similar to Ramelius and the other company, which I forget right now, Ramelius and Developed Global. Looks like there was selling in this company during the day. So let's have a look at Acrux. What's the particular code? ACX. What is it again? Can't believe I've forgotten already. My memory is terrible. ACR, of course. And we'll have a look at the long-term chart just to show you how high the share price of this company was back about, I'm going to say 2014. So let's have a look at the weekly chart. Maybe 2013. 2012, okay, a little bit. So that's well over 10 years ago. Share price of this company reached a high of $4.60, it looks like, in 2012. So fallen from $4.20 to 6.4 cents. And we won't be able to show you financial data that far back because it's more than 10 years ago. But something happened with their product they were selling back then. I'm pretty sure it had something to do with men gaining weight. So something linked with steroids. I can't remember. But possibly this is a turnaround story for Acrux. I don't know. They do have a little bit of revenue in the past financial year, $8.4 million of revenue. So they are selling something, and revenue of $7 million in the first half or the second half of financial year 23, but only $4.4 million of revenue in the most recent half year. So still not really turned it around. And if you have a look at the daily chart for Acrux, yeah, this had the potential to be a breakout, but a lot of selling during the day. And if we look at the 5-minute chart, yeah, so the share price absolutely took off in the first 15 minutes. Share price got to its high of 9.8 cents. 9.9 cents. So again, 10 cents is a resistance level, a very natural resistance level. In that 5-minute period, share price increased 47%, went from 6.3 cents to 9.9 cents, and the share price has dropped all the way down, back down to 6.4 cents. Market cap of this company, I would say, is probably about 20 million. 13.9 million after today. It's about $20 million. And this is definitely a company you can be patient in just to see how they do financially perform. I don't think Acrux releases an Appendix 4C. I could be wrong, but I can't remember looking at their Appendix 4Cs. I could be completely wrong. They should be issuing Appendix 4Cs. Yeah, they do. Okay, I was completely wrong. So let's have a look at the most recent Appendix 4C just to see how much cash they produce in this quarter, to see if they're operating cash flow positive. So no, $1.8 million of cash flow. They received $2.9 million in government grants and tax incentives. And even with that $2.9 million, the company was only operating cash flow positive 1.5 million. So still burning through cash at this point in time. But I will be paying a closer attention to how Acrux is performing moving forward just because of what happened today. Other than that, I can't remember anything. It doesn't mean there were no other announcements that didn't cause a bit of interest in the market. Maybe Mightycraft selling mismatch and 78 degrees caused some interest. FOS Capital company update, that seemed like it was positive, up 16.7%. Yeah, so that was definitely a company or announcement that because it had the update word in there, update, a very important word, particularly if it's trading update. And this did seem positive. And they are pleased to provide the following operation update. FOS has completed another record quarter with sales reaching 7.1 million, a 64% increase on the previous corresponding period. But they're just talking about sales, nothing about margins, nothing about cash flow, that sort of thing. And I have a feeling if we look at the chart, which I'll do just now, the chart is not ugly, but not much happening with FOS. And fairly liquid too. And you can see that just by the one-day movements in the share price. So if we go back to the 9th of September 2022, share price decreased 22.7% on that day, and the next day increased 29.4%. And the very fact that that was 2022, not 2023, just shows you there are a lot of days where there's no trading in this company, and we can confirm that by looking at the trading history. Let's look at the trading history for FOS Capital. So big chunks missing day, big days, chunks of days missing here. So we had trade history 19th of March, 15th of March, and then 4th of March. So there's 11 calendar days where there's no trading in FOS Capital. That doesn't necessarily deter me, but you do have to be wary around companies like this. Now, if FOS continues to grow through time, this company could be cheap right now. I don't know. What's the market? Below $10 million, according to ComSec. It could be cheap. And let's have a look at the most recent Appendix 4C just to see if they were operating cash flow. I can't remember putting this company onto my watch list. In fact, they don't have an Appendix 4C. So this company must have been operating cash flow positive for a while, or they didn't release any Appendix 4Cs at all. So that's a little bit of surprise to me. So let's have a look at the most recent half-year results. Yes, half-year results. So $9.9 million in sales, EBITDA positive 0.9 million. I'd like to see, here we go. So gross profit 4.3 million, EBITDA 0.9, operating profit 0.7. So the company is profitable. Cash of 5.9 million, debt of 2.8, and net assets of 9.4. So the company's trading on net asset value. So interesting company. And there we have pipeline, order book. Order book has taken a massive jump in sales. So I haven't looked at FOS for a long time. I looked at the company just after they listed, but that's about it. So maybe it's time to have another look at FOS Capital. However, the chart looks pretty ugly right now. And maybe there's nothing else after that. I could be completely missing something. Novonics? No. Merger and IPO spin out? No, don't care. AL3 or AML3D, capital raising, share price should have dropped, yep. To establish USA facility following capital raising. Oh, the facility as in somewhere where they're going to make stuff, not facility as in finance facility. Yeah, okay. Current Energy, drilling approved. And I think that could be it. ACDC Metals. We need more companies with names that are homages, if it is a homage to a metal band, because it's metal. So we need ACDC, we have Metallica. So we got ACDC, we have Metallica, we need Slayer or Slayer Metals. Oh, I would buy that just because of the name. Slayer. Not because I like the band, just because of Buffy, the Vampire Slayer. Anyway, Judo Capital. Okay, so that's all I've got in terms of announcements. Let's have a look at the best performing companies and the worst performing companies today. And then I might show you a few charts. So what I usually do after I record this video, I go to look at charts to my trading portfolio just to see if any companies are close to hitting my sell point. So I all have sell points for all these companies, and I just want to see if I need to sell. So Acrux was the best performing company today, followed by Magmatic Resources, Pacific Minerals or Mines. So nothing big. Mightycraft did go up because they're selling something. It's not a good reason to get excited. Rectifier Technologies, I don't care about that company, even though I'm a shareholder, just because, yeah. So nothing of interest there. Let's have a look by market cap. Internal Diagnostics, 29 metals, some gold companies, copper company, AFT's pharmaceuticals, forget that, low turnover. But I'm going to look at, I didn't see any announcement from Internal Diagnostics. Nothing, so just random, just noise. And there's nothing here that I want to pay attention to. Prophecy International had another really good day. That fills me with glee and happiness. Let's have a look at Prophecy chart, because I am a shareholder of this company, and I do think this company could be a little gem on the ASX, but they have to prove it to me just yet. I'm just saying they have the potential, but they still have to prove it to me. Share price broke out at 68 cents not long ago, 2 weeks ago, and the share price keeps on going up. So good times for Prophecy International. Nice looking chart, by the way. I would like to see the share price pull back or just go sideways for a period of time. That would be healthy Prophecy International. Or should I say, people who are buying Prophecy shares, just be patient. Let the share price breathe and go sideways. Okay, so I didn't expect to see many companies that I wanted to have a look at. So let's have a look at the worst performing companies. This might be a little bit more interesting. And we would expect some big tech companies to be in the market cap list. So in the overall, nothing. Westgold, we talked about that. Nothing really. There's AML3D. We talked about that. So nothing really in this list to get me enthused. So let's have a look by market cap. And I expect some big tech companies. So let's have a look. Sigma down. Credit Corp down. So we're not seeing tech companies yet. Mesoblast down, which is understandable. PlaySide Studios down. Genus Plus down. So some companies I do own. It's understandable. Smart Parking. So no big companies. I was expecting some big companies on the list, but nothing really big. So for instance, I was thinking maybe WiseTech, Zero. So how are those companies perform today? Let's have a look. WiseTech down 5%. So they probably just missed it. Zero down 5.7%. So what was a cutoff for the top losers? Let's have a look. And we have to do it by percentage change. And the cutoff was 6%. And that was it. Okay. It's only 6%, the cutoff, and that was City Chic. Okay, so let's have a look at some charts, because actually, to be honest with you, nothing really exciting in the top losers and the top gainers today, apart from Prophecy, which was a little bit of a surprise. So let's have a look at the charts. We'll go to my short-term portfolio or my trading portfolio, and we'll look at, a lot of companies down, but a few companies up. So for instance, one company that was up was Adrad. That looks like it has broken out. In fact, yesterday I was really, I won't say upset, but what's the ticker code? AHL. So yesterday the share price went to a high of $1.01. I think it was more than that. $1.01. Okay. And then there's a little bit of selling, and it closed at 95 cents. But today, share price up 5%. Although according to TradingView, it was only up. According to TradingView, where is it? TradingView, it was only up. Oh, it was up 6%. Yeah, 6.3%. So a little bit of difference between the two. And let's have a look at the selling today. And I think this could be good. So not many sellers for Adrad. I'm glad I held on. I was going to take profits as soon as share price got above 90 cents, but I'm glad I didn't. So let's go back to the chart. So my sell point now for Adrad is this dotted line or this dashed line. That was a breakout. So if I see the share price fall below that line, I would be looking at selling out. If the share price falls below 90 cents, I will definitely sell out and take profits. But now I've lifted that point to $1 to 94 cents. That's my sell point. Now it is a dashed line, but for other companies, I have a dotted line. So let's go have a look at the first company in my list, which is ServiceStream. So my sell price for ServiceStream is $1.20. We're very close to that. So I'm going to go through this list and look at any companies that I might have to sell tomorrow. And the reason it's $1.20 is because that was the lows just a few days ago. And if we see another lower low, that's a negative sign, particularly because the share price has struggled to get above $1.26. And I have been looking for a reason to sell out of ServiceStream. I really want to take profits with this company. Let's have a look at Hub24. There's another dotted line here. So I bought this company way back in August. I want to wait for at least a few more months before I take profits in this company. For ServiceStream, I bought in June. And even though we're not far away from June, I really want to take profits. But if the share price doesn't fall below $1.20, I will wait until June to sell out of Service Stream. But for Hub, my sell point for that company is $39, so it's still a fair bit above that price. For Elders, it's at $8.60, so well above that level. And maybe you can see why I have these prices put. It's all about resistance levels and new lows, that sort of thing. Cobram Estate's been doing well. I did lift Cobram from $1.54 up to $1.76. I think I did that yesterday. I was confident that I can lift my sell price or my stop loss, whatever you want to call it, above what I bought. So I am now going to be in profits for Cobram unless they release a profit downgrade and the share price collapses. Other companies here, what other companies can I show you? What other companies can I show you? Email payments. Oh, look at email payments. They had an interesting day today. Oh, gee, the share price collapsed and then recovered really nicely. Why would you sell when the share price collapses like that? Don't give in to fear. You could have sold at $1.05 in the share price and then see the share price rally during the day. I need to see the share price reach my sell point at the end of the day. If the share price recovers like email payments, you could have sold. That's why I don't have stop losses. Some people might have a stop loss for email payments at $1.07 and been stopped out and then see the share price rally. That's why I don't use stop losses. My sell point for email payments is $1. Simple as that, which is the breakout level we saw previously. What else? Actually, I should show you companies I've held for a little bit longer. So let's have a look at Judo Capital. So Judo Capital is, I bought it at $1.16, and this is another instance where I've just lifted my stop loss to $1.24. And there's a few reasons behind that, which I won't get into this company. It's just because share price did struggle to get above that. You can see the share price got to $1.24 back in mid-February and then pulled back, got above $1.24 and then pulled back, tested it and then pulled higher. So that's and then sort of almost tested it again on the 20th of March and then started to go up again. So that seems like an area of demand for Judo Capital. And if that area of demand gives way, there's no more demand, that's negative for the share price. The share price could fall below that level. So that's a natural sort of area where I might sell out if I don't see support at $1.24. So that in that zone anyway. And A2 Milk, let's have a look at A2 Milk, the final company we'll look at in today's video. So I bought at $5.45. Now, probably originally my sell point would have been probably right here about $5.05, which is a nice 10% or below 10% drop from when I bought. I would have lifted it to this level as the share price started to rally. Might have lifted it to this level as the share price continued to rally, which was a low. And then I might lift it to this level at $5.75 because that was the most recent low. Now, I want to see the share price bounce because the share price has fallen 2 days in a row. I want to see it bounce. I want to see the share price get to $6.30. If I don't see the share price get to a new high, that could be a concern moving forward. Doesn't mean I will sell, but it could be a concern that I have to pay a little bit more attention to A2 Milk. So A2 Milk stop loss is $5.75. Okay. That's all I got for today's video. Time is now 4 p.m. If you have any thoughts, any questions, leave those in the comment section of this video. Otherwise, I am not a financial advisor. If you do need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a good day. Bye.